Welcome back, if you've been here before, to the Will Is podcast. How you guys doing? Yeah, we back again. Cause check it out. I just came to put a little paint where it ain't. You dig? We looking at tonight the WIP Atlanta show. Down by law. Down by law. The South. Yeah, everybody know I'm from Pensacola, Florida. Y'all know that. I don't never let y'all forget where I'm from. You know why? Sometimes you get challenged by foreigners, you know, people that they don't like the truth. They don't like facts. They don't like when I show you actual facts from ancestry.com, when I show you actual facts from all of these, all of the books that I have invested into, you know, everything that I try to do, I try to be as close as I can to the truth because that's extremely important. I don't think y'all really understand that, man. I think people love fabrications because they get to live in their false realities. It's always like it's almost like somebody running around talking about my truth all the time. The truth is not yours. That goes for all of y'all. The truth ain't yours. The truth don't need you, don't need me, don't need nobody. The truth stands alone. So therefore, you don't have to deal with your false concepts or your bad interpretations of what you would call his feel good story. His feel good stories don't fit the narrative. His feel good stories don't fit the narrative of geography, archaeology, uh, I mean, etymology, uh, cartography. I mean, all of these names that were the ography of study, uh, you know, they don't fit no, none Caucasian narrative. Not by factual equations. Neither does it a Siberian or anybody else that wants to, oh, America. Just stop, man. I mean, it would behoove you to learn something about certain things or people. Nobody said you wasn't here. You just wasn't here first. Seriously, do the math. Stop teaching and indoctrinating your own mind just to suit yourself. And I know you would think, well, you're sitting. No, I'm not saying the same things. I promise you. All you got to do is go through my chronology of my shows. Go through, uh, you know, just watch, learn, educate yourself. I promise you, if this is your first time watching or if you've watched before, great. Then you can tell them, hey, yo, he kind of do this anyway. But check it out. We're gonna keep it on a great moving forward. This is a new show. So I really don't like addressing past shows because I'm like, if you got a question, you got, holler at me respectfully. You know what I'm saying? Learn how to not always be so, you know, emotional about what you thought you knew. That's your damn fault, man. Don't be listen, you better learn how to address folks or you will never learn. You always gotta sit up here. Well, I know I don't give a fuck what you know, homie. I don't care. My my stories are not lies. That the actual what you call oral stories or oral traditions, my stories were given from me from my elders by blood. So watch your mouth. You understand? Learn how to learn something before you always got something to say. Maybe we're relatives, maybe we're not. Maybe you're just a cosplaying ass liar. Watch your mouth, Siberian. Be gone. Anyway, this show is about Atlanta. Yeah. You know, a lot of us, like I, like we've always discussed, not everybody migrate. Some people have so much invested, so much to lose. They'll put it all on the line. That's what the real deal is. That's what you don't understand. Everybody just come pick up their shit, and move, and leave, and just and walk off. Some people say, hell, hey, we got shotguns above every door. We got plenty of ammunition. Hey, we know how to stand our ground. See, that's why Atlanta got burnt down once upon a time. Did y'all know that? Mm-hmm. I'm gonna make sure we do the Atlanta show part too, because Atlanta is an extremely resilient city with uh very overrun suburbs, and the city's overrun now, but it just so happens to know how to thrive. Let me tell you, moved to Atlanta. My mother moved to Atlanta in 1998 when I was going into the Marine Corps. And when I came home, I had a little time on leave, came home, helped her move. Man, this movie was so this movie, this city is like a movie, but yeah, this thing was moving so fast, man. My mama bought a house in a few years, very resilient lady, was able to put pedal to the metal up here and just move fast and just, you know, make sure she can have a place for her kids to of refuge for her children. We all grown now. She even bought that house. It was grown, but hey, that was very much so a place of refuge. Absolutely. So that's what parents that love their children do. Always give them a place of refuge. Okay. So got out military in 2006. I was 25, going on 26 years old. Got out in May, going on going on June May 31st, 2006 actually. Yeah. So got a job, you know, as an account manager for a said name company. Stayed there 10 months. It was too much of the flamboyant, going on for me. No pun intended, but I prefer to work. It's respect has to be, you know, displayed to deal with certain, types of folks that like to, swing that other way. I ain't got no problem with you, man, but some of y'all are entirely too, you know, aggressive, and everybody ain't chemically wired like you, so you'll never have the or want to even mindset like you. So yeah, you get over that. That people cool, and you know you learn how to look past some stuff. But when it comes to like the culture, the vibe of the city, the resilience of the city, and the indigenous people of the city. My wife is an indigenous ATLian. My baby is an indigenous ATLian. Me, I'm from the southeast. Period. You know what I'm saying? Like highways were implemented because the indigenous knew the waterways. So they build dams and they build all of these, constructs. The Chattahoochee River, man, you can get down the Chattahoochee River, you can get to the Gulf, you can get anywhere you want to get on the waterways. So that's why they shut us off. This country, I got something for you. Because Atlanta is all up and through. Man, I got my books all over the place. I gotta get back organized because I've been sharing a lot and reading a lot as well, making sure I can back everything I say up. That's what's important. I can back what the fuck I say up for real. You know what I'm saying? So let me tell you this. Atlanta, one of them cities that like black folks had so much going on at every specific point in time. Like, it's the black mecca still. It was the black mecca of the South. I remember growing up in Pensacola, Florida, and hearing about Atlanta, the Omni Center, Dominique Wilkins. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then, also when I grew up, man, because I got here, I got to Georgia in '91, so it was like, man, heard Outkast in '91, '92. Christmas album, man. And then you hear, shortly after that, you get Goody Mob. Oh, yo, man, yo. Before that though, for real, you had, Atlanta with that that kind of Florida sound, that down south sound, that Kilo. You not down with Kilo, then you are a zero. Do you hear what I hear? That boom, that boom. Ooh, I got that boom in the cars that be booming down the street. Y'all don't know nothing about that. If y'all don't know nothing about Atlanta, you don't know nothing about no ATL bed shit like that. Then you got the Dungeon family, rest in peace, rest in power, Rico Wade, a true, y'all know that. Don't go chasing waterfall. That's Rico Wade's orchestration. You dig? Y'all might not know that. Yo, masterful work coming out of the Dungeon family, I mean, it was so massive. TLC, Tony Braxton, everything was coming out of the South in '91. LaFace Records. You had Babyface and LA Reid pumping everything out, so you had the coolest cut a cool breeze. You had, like I said, you had Goody Mob. You got even like, man, yeah, Bubba Sparks. The Dungeon family was huge, man. You had so much talent coming out the South. And then, you had that dooka 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 white good, white wild ties. You know what I'm saying? So then you had who? You had Tip come out. T.I. Man, he was blowing in 2001. I'm serious. Then he hit him again. Bow! He hit him in the face with that damn that that got down the second album. What was Tip's second album? It was it was damn. Come on, man. I mean, he had I'm serious. Trap music. I give that 5 mics. Yeah, that was a super classic album. And then, so you had Outkast, just killing the game for like, oh my God, oh, from 90, 92, 3, 4, 5, 88, and you got all this going on, and you got all this awesome production and backing out of Atlanta, becoming a Southern powerhouse, a super Southern powerhouse of just like the best, hip hop and R&B produced. I mean, you got JD out of So Def. The Brat is out of Chicago, but she was down here in Atlanta. You had Chris Cross in '92, '93, and they came back with a couple of albums. So, you got, you know, Bow Wow from Ohio, but, he had Snoop in LA. Bow Wow had the Globe, but, he rapping out of So Def, JD right here in Atlanta. So, you got, man. Yeah, they made a country song out. Everybody in the club get a tip, and what the boy Shabozy talking about, you know, one to the two to the three to the four. You know what I'm saying? Coming around, this cat. That's the remix. That's a remix of a hip hop song. He made a country, but some people like that shit. This is kind of fly though. But Atlanta has a big ass presence, man. So you got okay. So we gonna go. We ain't gonna forget these artists, these greats, these greats. You got Jim Crow. You got Young Bloods. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Cuddy Cartel. Rest in power. Who else we got here? We got oh man, these artists that came out of here. You got oh, don't forget about the Georgia boy, Pastor Troy. Ain't no more playing in GA. You know what I'm saying? You got Mystical was coming out of this bitch. You got No, then Miracle. Miracle was his name, not Mystical. Miracle. Bounce. Bounce. Y'all don't know about this shit. You had so many artists, taking their chances. You got, let me see, JT, you got Florida. Florida had a big ass presence too. Shout out to all of Florida. I always gonna rep for Florida like that. But all of this Southeast shit was combined, but Atlanta was the mecca. It was coming. I mean, TLC, Tony Braxton. All these super bands coming out of Florida. Goody Mob super band, one of my favorite, all of my favorite. But CeeLo Green, 22, he came out one of another five mic album. My Perfect Imperfection. Shout out to CeeLo Green for that shit. Then you had Killer Mike coming in 2003. Shout out to the Big King. Shout out to the Big King Killer. I'm bumping all your shit because I'm an adult and I've been through my adult lessons. So Killer Kia from Outerville, shit. Young Hope in the place to be, Big Boy in the place to be on 3000. Shout out to Public House and they brought the whole hood with me. He was rapping with Jay Z back in on the Speak About Love Below album. You know what I'm saying? Like you've been a god king in the game for a long time, man. So shout out to Big Killer Kill, Grammy winner, the super Big King. Killer Mike, man, my favorite artist right now. You know, Nas, you got me in New York, your favorite all time up there. But down here, all them are my favorite. But Killer Mike, you bring the essence and soul of Atlanta back to every way. You got the new artists like and I call them they old artists now, but from where I stand from, they still babies like the Futures and the Little Babies and all of the great the Jids of the world. Shout out to Jid, man, one of my favorite. I know J Cole, but Jid is dope as hell. But good crafted, great music. You got all of these artists, man. That Carrie Hilson. I'm just thinking about everybody. All of this big Atlanta push. You had, man, the Jacksonville talent, the Tallahassee niggas, the Superboy out of Florida. T Pain did a lot of work up here in Georgia, man. Oh man, so Tip Jeezy never ever understand how Jeezy, man, one of the greatest of my favorites. Jeezy's like a top fiver for me. Then, it's so much talent and so much motivation come out of Atlanta. It's immaculate. It's magical. Oh my God, this city it has so it's such a it's a Atlanta is a catalyst city. It can run itself. If you cut America off, and it'll catapult Georgia. It'll do a lot of things, man. But we are the United States. But at the end of the day, Atlanta and Georgia period is an extremely self-sustaining place. So shout out to all the Southeast, but Atlanta, you have been an inspiration to all of the Southeast for about 250 years, man. Macon was the original capital of Georgia, but Atlanta became such of it wasn't a good way. It didn't start in a good way. Atlanta wasn't even supposed to be a mega city. It was built on a farmland, a farm grid, as a matter of fact. So, you know, Atlanta has a very also like Pensacola. I bet you guys didn't know that the city of Buckhead that everybody's so proud of. You know what they did? How Buckhead got its name? Buckhead got its name because it was an intimidating factor for slaves. So they would cut their heads off, stick them on stakes to intimidate the incomers. Okay? So these were uh, very brutal tactics that will never go down again. Uh, that happened, right here in Georgia. My folks, they are Powhatan, Pamunkey, you know, of the Cherokee Nation. A lot of you guys don't understand about this. A lot of this here, we're down in Georgia too. Oh yeah, all over the southeast. Creek Wars. My grandmama assigned me a task of why you see so much of this discovery And I tell you, she gave me the cheat codes because she knew. She told me everything she knew about how these things went down. She told me study the Battle of Burnt Corn. And I studied it. And oh my goodness. Oh yeah, it was, you know, I was in Alabama. But that's when the Creeks, the Cherokee, Choctaw, Chickasaw, fighting. Everybody had to understand. They couldn't fight each other no more. We had been took by Siberians as well as Europeans. Eastern Asians and Europeans, we got flanked. That's why somebody ended up with a birthright and somebody ended up with the land. There you have it. We're gonna, me and Dr. A.E. gonna keep explaining more because there's a lot of haters. Oh my God, you have this complexion, all of the proof, everything that you need, and you still have daughters, but that's okay. Fine. Atlanta has proven in the past 50 years how resilient you can be. Atlanta and all surrounding areas, the push, the plight of the black American has always been outstanding here. The standards set high here. You know, beautiful people in this city. That's why people gravitate here. They call this the Hollywood of the East. You understand? And the people that are indigenous and that are from here, if you come real, you get nothing but love, respect, appreciation. My wife from here, her family treat me like they're Rome. We got the same customs, the same integrity, the same upbringing, the same attributes, how you were raised, and how you can actually had the mindset from a child to even go further from what you were taught in the customs and the elements and the fundamentals that you were given as a child. You were still able to be given the mindset to go as far as you want. You can do that in this city. That's why so many people want to come to Atlanta, Georgia. You can get your mind right here. It was really the land of milk and honey about 40 years ago, 30 years ago, 25 years ago. I mean, you had the skill set, it was somewhere for you. It was a place where you can buy a home, build and raise your family, and rent was reasonable, and you can get a house for $120,000 back in 1993, 94. Uh, you can get a house for shoot that went all the way up to the 2000s, man. You can get a house in Atlanta, man, for a good if you balling, you can get one $200,000. Oh, you live in a $200,000 home, man. I mean, shit, that ain't nothing now. That's a shack. That's a that's a rundown condo in this motherfucker. Nah, you gotta to live in a decent home in Atlanta. You gotta be. I guess now, man. I think today buying a home in Atlanta, you gotta spend about 350 or better if you want something decent that you can at least put a little money into and spruce up. Get rid of the last couple decades appeal to it or whoever was in it before you. So it's like it's a whole nother game. But the city thrives because there are survivors and thrivers and innovators and a whole lot of excellence, black excellence. It's a whole lot of universal excellence here, and people want to be a part of that, man. So it's very unique here. Yeah, we have our share of problems. Yeah, we do have. We deal with the same thing everybody else globally deal with, but we are very aware, and there are safe havens, and people are very creative in Atlanta. They're very loving. They're very beautiful. But if you come with that bullshit, they will bust your goddamn bubble. That's why you don't do that. Practice good character. Learn a better version of you. If you come in here, I wish some of y'all leave. But since you here, I wish you leave. But since you here, I wish you go somewhere else. But since you here, behave. Learn how to drive. Yeah. Oh, Have some manners. This is supposed to be a place where you got etiquette, Southern hospitality. Yeah, the indigenous are still here. You know, we here. The Southeast. When y'all keep hearing the South, I mean, that mean like that's Tennessee, Kentucky, below. Virginia, Maryland, below. The Southeast. We got mountains in the South. Now Maryland and Virginia. They kind of on some. I want to be the Northeast. That's fine too, whatever. But y'all know y'all folk. We related. You already know. You East Coast Indian. We related. You know what's happening. We got the same customs. My folks from Virginia and Maryland and Connecticut and all of the places up there too. The Iroquois and the Algonquin nations up there. The Iroquois in the Midwest. Where this thing used to go down for real and where democracy originated. So understand something. Democracy originated in America. It was not something that Europeans created when you came from a monarch. You came from a monarch. You didn't come from a democratic or a democratic society or republic, a democratic republic. You didn't come from that. So stop claiming and naming and maiming. Stop claiming, naming, maiming, and start learning, listening, and getting educated for your first time. Because the version that you sell the planet is how we got here in the first place. It's called arrogance. It's called not having vision. It's called wanting to be first when you shouldn't. So that leads to mediocrity. We have to get back to a shared plane so that we can elevate into a new development of space, in and out, inside and out. Understand now? So stop being the default. Okay? Feeling good about yourself should not be predicated on wanting to be above someone else. It's good to look folks in the eyes, get interpersonal. So, therefore, you can have a real relationship and not a pretend acting as if everything is okay. So, check it out. It's Friday night. Y'all go enjoy yourselves. If you in Atlanta, I know your ass gonna have a good time. I mean, hell yeah, I know you is. Which when you visit Atlanta, have some manners. You will be found out. People don't play down here, man. Hey, have some manners though. It's good folks down here. It's good folks everywhere. But have some manners though. This is the South. People that come here, been here. I've been here a very, very long time. And you'll get some more information about Atlanta too, because of course, I live here. Outskirts. You don't need to know where. But anyway, check this out. Man, y'all take care of yourself. If you're going out tonight, be careful. Um, Look out for who you're going out with. Take care of each other. Uh, Practice a buddy system. Don't leave your peoples behind, man. Y'all make it safe and be as responsible for each other as you can. And you should practice that at all times, even if you're going out in the daytime. You know what I'm saying? Always be accountable. Always be responsible. Always keep your head on the swivel. But check it out. Um, the reason why I named all them artists that I was naming, and I named this show Down by Law, because when you really feel this city, I'm from Pensacola, Florida, but this city got the same vibe, and it sends a hellified vibration. And where I'm come from, these cities are sirens. They send hellified vibrations so we can connect with our cell phones, and we had the same customs, the same attributes. We said the same lingo. We had the same, raised the same way, used the same type of verbiage, man. We was on that telephone. That telephone was the internet, and that shit was like a goddamn man. That shit went viral. We been going viral around this motherfucker in the South, the Southeast, So that's how we get down. Because that's how our village raised our children. That's how your child was on the other side of other side of town. For you knew, oh, you was over there. Oh, such and such. Oh, Eloise called me, huh? She know where the hell you was. She know where you was now. Uh huh. Over your friend, Mama, what is it? Oh, yeah, you got. Hey man, you the lying badass. I ain't lie. I was pretty rough, but I wasn't no liar. I got lied. Well, it was over with. Everybody, stop lying. Oh, traumatized. Stop lying. A lot of y'all do stop lying to yourself too. But anyway, that's the show. That's the show tonight. Atlanta show. Down by law. We go through struggles, but by far Atlanta's one of the greatest cities in America. Yeah, and it's getting better. So anyway, I want y'all to share with me right here from the A. The will is yours. I see y'all tomorrow. We're gonna dress y'all pretendians